Well, Jay, I completely agree with you. I don't think he should have zero regrets either.
The LeBron James lifetime deal, the Steph Curry lifetime deal, the Kevin Durant lifetime deal, all was birthed with Michael Jordan.
Now, LeBron ain't had a nemesis because the league changed. Got a little softer. Your definition of a nemesis was Roy Hibbert and Paul George and those.
The debate between LeBron James and Michael Jordan has taken center stage for over a decade. Fans argue, analysts clash, and generations split down the middle over who truly deserves the crown of the greatest to ever play the game. But in the midst of all the noise, one voice has never wavered. Stephen A. Smith. The man has made it crystal clear. He is not entertaining foolish comparisons. He is not sugarcoating reality. To him, there is one king of the hardwood, and his name is Michael Jeffrey Jordan. This is not a conversation. This is a coronation. It is not about numbers. It is not about longevity. It is about impact. It is about fear. It is about dominance. And above all, it is about legacy. In this video, we are diving deep into 9 powerful quotes by Stephen A. Smith, who unapologetically shuts down any talk that LeBron James could ever surpass Michael Jordan. These quotes are not just words. They are bombs dropped on a debate that should have ended long ago. From respect to killer instinct to global influence, Stephen A. is spelling it out. LeBron might be great, but he is not Michael Jordan. Not now, not ever. If you are a true basketball fan who wants the raw, unfiltered truth, then smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. This is Overall News Focus, and we are putting the final nail in the coffin of the greatest debate in sports history. Let's get into it. Stephen A. Smith made it abundantly clear that when people talk about the greatest basketball player of all time, there is a name that transcends generations, and it is not up for negotiation. That name is Michael Jordan. In his eyes, Jordan is not just the standard. He is the embodiment of basketball excellence. He is the blueprint. While LeBron James is often lauded for his versatility and longevity, Stephen A. immediately shuts down the idea that those qualities alone can overthrow the throne that Jordan built with sweat, blood, and dominance. LeBron has had an illustrious career, no doubt about it, but Stephen A. insists that we cannot ignore the deeper layers that make Jordan untouchable. This is not just about statistical brilliance. This is about a cultural and psychological shift that MJ forced the world into. When Jordan played, he was not just playing. He was commanding an army of fear, respect, and admiration. Opponents did not just want to compete with him. They wanted to survive him. LeBron, on the other hand, has never commanded that same psychological warfare. Stephen A. is not afraid to say it. He does not care about the points per game or the assists. He cares about who made people freeze in their tracks, who made legends like Reggie Miller, Charles Barkley, and Patrick Ewing look helpless. That man was Jordan. That man is still Jordan. And in Stephen A.'s world, that fact is not changing.
Because anybody that played in that era would tell you there could not possibly be another option because Michael Jordan was head and shoulders above them all.
In another fiery declaration, Stephen A. Smith emphasized that the fear factor surrounding Michael Jordan was not just myth, it was gospel. Players felt it, coaches acknowledged it, fans around the globe witnessed it. He was not someone you simply played against, he was someone you survived. Stephen A. insists that Jordan inspired a unique kind of dread that LeBron James has never managed to replicate. Yes, LeBron has won rings. Yes, he has had clutch performances. But according to Stephen A., no one ever entered a series against LeBron James with that same spiritual resignation that they had when facing MJ. Jordan's presence on the court was suffocating. You did not need the scoreboard to tell you who was winning. You could feel it in the way defenders sagged their shoulders. You could see it in the eyes of superstars who crumbled under the pressure of facing him. LeBron inspires competition. Jordan inspired capitulation. There is a difference, and Stephen A. is adamant about that. He talks about how Jordan did not have to ask for your respect. He took it. He demanded it. And most importantly, he maintained it. LeBron, despite all his accolades, still finds himself questioned, still finds himself criticized, still finds himself picked apart. That does not happen to someone who truly ruled the game like Jordan did. For Stephen A., the difference is not just noticeable, it is monumental.
Dan, how is it that you talk about Michael Jordan like LeBron James is in the same sentence as him? Why do you do that?
Stephen A. Smith did not stop there. He took it a step further and pointed out how LeBron has always had to respond to criticism from voices both within and outside the game. But with Jordan, those conversations never had that same volume. Why? Because people knew better. Stephen A. argues that the way players, media, and even legends from the past talk about LeBron behind closed doors reveals a lack of unanimous respect. With Jordan, there was an invisible wall. There were boundaries. You did not go there. You did not criticize Jordan freely without repercussions because everyone understood the level he operated on. The media world was not as wild back then, sure, but Stephen A. believes it was more about reverence than it was about silence. People did not speak ill of Jordan because he had earned that sacred space. LeBron, for all his greatness, has not achieved that aura, that godlike invincibility. Stephen A. is pointing to that clear distinction and asking the world to wake up. If you are the greatest of all time, then why are there still so many doubters? Why is there still so much heat aimed at your legacy? Michael Jordan never had to deal with this because he crushed the conversation before it ever began. Stephen A. respects LeBron. But when it comes to that unshakable legacy, he knows who set the bar, and LeBron is still climbing.
Well, Jay, I completely agree with you. I don't think he should have zero regrets either.
Stephen A. Smith made it unmistakably clear when he pointed out that Michael Jordan came into the league with an assassin mentality. This was not something he developed or discovered after years of adjusting to the NBA. It was embedded in his DNA from the moment he stepped onto an NBA court. Stephen A. was emphasizing a critical point that separates Jordan from everyone else. While other greats had to grow into their roles, learn the ropes, and gradually adopt a killer instinct, Jordan arrived with that fire already burning inside him. His competitive engine was not taught. It was not a reaction to losing or hardship. It was who he was from day one. The moment he put on a Bulls jersey, he wanted to destroy you. No mercy, no compromise, no waiting around for greatness to blossom. That level of intensity from a rookie is unheard of. This is where the comparison with LeBron James falls apart. LeBron had to grow into leadership. He had to learn to take over games. He had to be told to be more aggressive. Jordan never needed that. He was aggressive from the start. He was vicious from the beginning. He wanted to be the best, and he carried himself like it from the jump. There is no story of hesitation with Jordan, no tales of him needing to find himself. He knew exactly who he was. He was a predator among prey. That killer instinct defined Jordan's entire career, and that is why Stephen A. keeps bringing it up. It is the single most important trait that GOATs have, and Jordan had it fully formed the second he touched the league. This is the standard, and it is a standard LeBron never met. He might have grown to become a leader, but he did not start with that same venom in his approach. Jordan came in with blood in his eyes. That cannot be taught. That is not something you develop. That is something you are born with, and Jordan was. When Stephen A. said Jordan came into the league with an assassin, he was making it clear that Jordan was built different from day one. LeBron had the body, Jordan had the mindset, and it is mindset that separates icons from legends. That is why LeBron will never surpass Jordan.
You talk that junk to Michael Jordan wants you. Make no mistake about it.
When Stephen A. Smith said that LeBron James never had a nemesis because the league got a little softer, he did more than just make a passing remark. He exposed a deeper truth about the era LeBron played in. He stripped back the myth of adversity and revealed the empty space where the rivalries should have been. Jordan had the bad boy Pistons. He had the Celtics. He had Reggie Miller and the Pacers. He had the Knicks with Ewing and Oakley ready to take his head off. Every night was a war. Every playoff series was a battlefield. And Jordan didn't just survive those rivalries. He crushed them. He broke their spirits and reshaped the league in his own image. LeBron, his biggest nemesis was Roy Hibbert and Paul George. Are we serious right now? That is what the league gave him to test his greatness? The softening of the league meant that LeBron never had to deal with the physical, violent, emotionally charged rivalries that defined Jordan's era. He never had to fight through brutal hits, hard fouls, and no calls that dared him to quit. That is what forged Jordan. That is what made his victories matter. He had to earn every inch of respect. Stephen A. was highlighting the truth that LeBron's career has not been tested by the same fire. There were no Pistons waiting to clothesline him. No Oakley ready to put him on the floor. The league changed. It got friendlier, softer, more focused on brand and business than bruises and battles. LeBron's competition did not carry the same edge. And when your toughest opponents are soft, your greatness loses some of its edge. Jordan's greatness was sharpened by war. LeBron's was elevated by comfort. That is the difference. That is the gap. And that is why LeBron can never truly be mentioned in the same breath as Jordan.
What he ultimately developed over the years, Jordan came into the league with.
Stephen A. pulled the curtain back, and what we saw was a career without a true nemesis, a path that did not require the same level of violence, pain, and perseverance. Jordan earned everything by going through hell. LeBron's road was paved and polished. That's why the comparison ends here. Stephen A. Smith's voice sharpened when he described what happened if you dared to talk junk to Michael Jordan. He would come for you, period. Make no mistake about it. That is the difference between greatness and something beyond it. Jordan did not ignore the noise. He weaponized it. He hunted down the source and made them pay. He had no chill, no mercy, and no forgiveness. That mindset is not just rare. It is terrifying. Stephen A. is not talking about a guy who was confident in his ability. He is talking about a man who thrived on confrontation. Jordan did not wait for you to back up your trash talk. He would beat you down the moment you opened your mouth. It was personal, and that made him lethal. This is something LeBron never embodied. You can criticize LeBron. You can mock him on social media. You can even challenge him publicly, and there is a chance he will respond, but not with the same intensity or fire. He might drop 30 on you, but Jordan would drop 50 just to shut you up and then stare you down as you walked off defeated. Jordan was a monster when provoked. He took everything personally. And when Stephen A. says Jordan would definitely come, he means Jordan would make it his mission to annihilate you. He would circle the date, he would prepare with surgical precision, and he would make sure you never forgot the mistake you made in talking to. That level of motivation is why Jordan won 6 championships and never lost in the finals. It is why he dominated his era. He wanted it more. He felt it more. He took every comment, every slight, and every challenge as fuel. LeBron does not burn with that same fire. He wants to win, yes, but he does not devour his enemies the way Jordan did. That hunger, that vengeance, that cold-blooded focus is what separates Jordan. LeBron has greatness. Jordan had rage-fueled domination. Stephen A. is not exaggerating. He is reminding the world that Jordan was a predator who never forgot. If you talked that junk, he would come. And that's why no one who ever watched Jordan with their own eyes can accept LeBron as the GOAT, because Jordan wasn't just great, he was out for blood.
Now, LeBron ain't had a nemesis because the league changed. Got a little softer. Your definition of a nemesis was Roy Hibbert and Paul George and those.
Stephen A. Smith made it abundantly clear when he pointed out that LeBron James' lifetime deal, Steph Curry's lifetime deal, and Kevin Durant's lifetime deal were all birthed because of Michael Jordan. This was not just an observation. It was a declaration of Jordan's incomparable influence on the economics of the modern NBA. Before Jordan, athletes were merely players. After Jordan, they became global brands. Jordan didn't just play basketball. He commercialized it. He redefined what it meant to be a superstar. Nike was just another sneaker company until Jordan wore its logo. Today, every sneaker deal that superstars sign owes its genesis to what Jordan built. LeBron's billion-dollar deal with Nike, that road was paved by Jordan. Durant's signature line, a direct extension of the path Jordan carved. Steph Curry's Under Armour legacy, again, rooted in the Jordan formula. LeBron might be enjoying the fruits of this tree, but it was Jordan who planted it, watered it, and watched it grow into a forest of endorsement empires. No player before or since has revolutionized the business side of basketball like Michael Jordan. Smith is not saying LeBron's deal isn't impressive. He's saying that without Jordan, it never would have existed. That is the distinction. Jordan was the prototype, the blueprint, the mold from which modern-day sports marketing was formed. LeBron, Steph, and Durant are simply beneficiaries of a foundation laid by someone greater. That's why LeBron, despite all his greatness, will always exist within a system Jordan invented. Jordan didn't walk into an empire and expand it. He built the empire, and the empire now carries LeBron. When you consider greatness in its totality, impact off the court counts just as much as dominance on it. Jordan is not just the reason these deals exist. He is the reason athletes are now taken seriously as business moguls. That level of innovation cannot be replicated. You can only follow it. And if you're following, then you are not leading. Smith's words are not about diminishing LeBron's success. They are about reminding us all that the path LeBron walks was cleared by the man who came before him, the man who changed everything. That man was Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
The LeBron James lifetime deal, the Steph Curry lifetime deal, the Kevin Durant lifetime deal, all was birthed with Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan was the first 40-year-old to drop 40. That's number one. Imitator, not an original.
Stephen A. Smith reminded the world that Michael Jordan was the first 40-year-old to drop 40 points in an NBA game. That one fact alone obliterates the false narrative that Jordan faded into irrelevance after his prime. People love to celebrate LeBron's longevity, and rightfully so. But Jordan's brief comeback with the Washington Wizards was not some farewell tour. It was a testament to the man's unmatched drive and ability. He was not just participating, he was still dominating. At 40 years old, Jordan dropped 40 points against NBA defenders who had grown up idolizing him. That performance was not just a stat sheet filler. It was a thunderous reminder that greatness does not have an expiration date when it resides in someone like Jordan. While LeBron has sustained excellence through unprecedented physical conditioning, Jordan returned from retirement with knees that had seen too many wars and a body that no longer had youth on its side. And yet, he walked into the arena and reminded everyone who the alpha was. Smith's quote is not a throwaway line. It's a statement of eternal dominance. Jordan was the ultimate competitor, and even in his 40s, he would not let go of the fight. That kind of mentality is rare. It is sacred. It is Jordan. While LeBron may continue to play at a high level into his late 30s and early 40s, his game has evolved to be more passive. Jordan, even in decline, was never passive. He attacked. He punished. He scored 40 not for nostalgia, but because he could. That distinction matters. Greatness is not only measured in rings or stats. It is measured in legacy-defining moments that echo through time. Jordan's 40 at 40 is one such moment. It tells the story of a man who refused to age like everyone else. LeBron has been consistent, but Jordan was timeless. And in the realm of immortality, that is the dividing line between number one and everyone else. Stephen A. Smith delivered one of the most damning statements in the GOAT debate when he said LeBron is an imitator, not an originator. That is the ultimate distinction that cements the divide between LeBron James and Michael Jordan. Originators invent the path. Imitators walk it. LeBron has had an extraordinary career. He has set records, won championships, and built a media empire. But the framework for all of that, it was constructed by Michael Jordan. Jordan was not copying anyone. He was not mimicking a blueprint. He created one. From his style of play to his branding, from his competitive fire to his ability to turn every game into a global event, Jordan redefined the modern athlete. LeBron followed in those footsteps. He took what Jordan invented and added his own flair. But addition is not creation. Expansion is not innovation. Jordan originated the standard of global superstardom. He originated the idea that a player could be bigger than the game. When the debate is finally stripped down to its core, what remains is this simple truth. LeBron James may be one of the greatest, but Michael Jordan is the greatest. Stephen A. Smith's passionate defense of Jordan throughout this conversation did not come from emotion. emotion. It came from facts. It came from legacy. It came from understanding what true greatness looks like. Jordan was not just a scorer. He was not just a champion. He was the origin of everything modern basketball holds sacred. LeBron's journey is monumental, but it will forever exist within the lines that Jordan drew. From competitive mentality to cultural dominance, from revolutionary impact to timeless influence, Jordan stands alone. Smith's words make one thing clear. You can admire LeBron. You can celebrate it, but do not confuse admiration with comparison, because no matter how high LeBron soars, the sky he flies through was created by Michael Jordan. And when it comes to the GOAT, there can only be one. Michael Jordan is not in the conversation. He is the conversation.